Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how I take notes, specifically textbook notes and lecture notes. This semester I am taking a World Hunger, Population and Food Supplies class for my sustainability minor. So these are the notes that I'm going to be taking today and showing you guys how I take my notes. So the first thing that I do when taking my notes is put the week number and the date. This will help me if I have to ever go back and remember exactly which week I had to take those notes or which week they came from. Next, I take my book. I write down the book name and the chapter number, so that way if I have to refer back to those notes in that specific chapter, it keeps everything pretty organized. When taking textbook notes, I try to keep it minimal. I don't want to just rewrite the textbook, so I focus on definitions and concepts are the main two things that I focus on. And as you can see, I put the page numbers by those definitions and concepts. That way I know how to refer back to where to go if I need to refer back to anything that I wrote down. And of course I add color to my notes, so I just used Crayola markers, the same ones I use for my bullet journals, and just highlight the definitions and the week and the chapter number. Because writing down just the same thing that's coming out of the textbooks, I try to write down the notes in different ways. So as you can see, I just drew a box and wrote down the note that I wanted to take. I try to write it down in different ways. That way it's just not the same thing, because that can get really boring just writing down sentences and not really doing anything to it. So yeah. I do write down charts and graphs or tables if they're really important for me to remember. Also, this is another way to kind of break the cycle of constantly writing down sentences. But yeah, I just make sure that if it has to be very important, otherwise I'll just put the page number if the graph is too complicated. That way I know to refer back to that page and go look at that table or graph because it was too complicated to draw. And that's pretty much it on how I take my textbook notes. Pretty easy, pretty simple. I don't try to write down too much stuff because again, it is coming from the textbook. I just make sure I write down the things that I really want to remember and really want to highlight from that chapter. Next, we're going to be going over lecture notes. So for lecture notes, I try to write down specific things that the professor points out while he's giving his lecture, or exam questions that the professor says that might be on the exam, and also the slide numbers. I'm lucky enough to have my professor actually put all of our lectures online. So we have all the PowerPoints online, so I can always go and refer back to the PowerPoints. I know this is not the case for everyone, but because that is the case for me, I just put down the slide numbers. If the professor says something important, I normally just put a quotation bubble just to make it a little bit more fun about what the professor said about the specific thing. That way I know that that was something that the professor said and to watch out for, or that was really important in the lecture. So like I was saying, for the slides, I try to put a slides to refer back to, title on it, and then put the slide number and the information that is in that slide, so that way I can go back to it and look at those slides and maybe take more extensive notes than I can if I'm just sitting in the lecture. And that's it. So yeah, that's how I take notes. As you can see, for each chapter or module that we go through, I do a different color just to make sure everything is different and it's not the same. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.